Welcome back to another episode of Tyranny, where we continue to build our character. Last time we completed 3 steps, and it looks like there's 14 steps total. So lots of fun. Let's continue the journey. Primary expertise. As one of Tunan's Fatebringers, you receive training in the arts of war, the intrigue of magic, and the inexhaustible depths of Kryos' law. Across the Northern Empire, the education of a Fatebringer is second to none. Those bearing the title are expected to read the instructions and understand the economies of the realms in which they operate. Literacy and mathematics, skills rarely found on Tetratus, are essential skills in the execution of law. Subtler talents like speechcraft and tactics are honed with time and experience under Tunan's guidance. Alright, so you get to choose one of the combat styles. So we got sword and shield. Put you on the front line of combat, standing between enemies and your allies. Holding a shield will slow down your attack rate slightly, but give you a good defensive bonus. I'm not going to read each one of these things. I mean, I think they're kind of, unless they're like, you know, interesting, but yeah, it's just too much craziness. Sword and shield. Javelin. Wielding a javelin is a good compromise between melee and ranged. Thrown weapons deal more damage than bows, but cannot attack as far away. They also have the benefit of being able to switch between ranged and melee attacks depending on the enemy's distance. So one of the little things I do know about this game is it's classless. So this isn't choosing your class or anything. This is just what you were trained in at the start. But if you choose like Javelin, you can continue to like learn Javelin, or you can start in the game. You can start to cast spells, and you'll magically just train up spells. So it's a do what you want to do kind of base game, which is kind of nice. So these are just your starting equipment, and then under here you get to choose an ability. So if you choose sword and shield, you get to choose shield slam or sunder. One of those abilities. And those, I guess, are skills that, you know, have cooldowns and so on. Javelin has heart shot. 20-second cooldown, 11 to 16 pierce. Delay your aim to focus on hitting the target's heart. Gain an additional accuracy bonus and leave the target bleeding. Hobble. 30-second, 9 to 14 pierce. Target enemy's feet with range attack, hobbling them if succeeded. Doesn't look like the skills changed based on the ability you choose. At least for those. Great sword. Wielding a two-handed weapon, put your focus on power rather than speed. This is a slow attack style, but damage you deal will often overcome the army of your enemies. Okay, dual wielding. Wielding 2 weapons gives you the advantage of versatility, as each weapon can deal different types of damage. It's kind of neat. Short bow. Short bow is a weapon of choice for those who choose to attack from distance, avoiding direct engagement with their enemies. +5 subterfuge. Let's read about that. The skill determines the ability to move unseen through their environment, to detect and manipulate hidden traps and devices to open locked chests and doors. You also use in dialogue to determine the ability to deceive or trick. So it's like an all-in-one thief skill. Unarmed attacks. Is one of the more challenging combat styles. Damage is generally lower, but this is offset by speed of attacks, a good style for someone interested in being challenged. While fighting unarmed, the dodge skill is used primarily to avoid melee attacks rather than parry. Okay. Shock spells. Mages skilled in shock magic can frequently interrupt their enemies, preventing them from executing their attacks. And it looks like you just have one skill called Charged Fist in the beginning. Explosive surge of energy, releasing all at once, interrupting them and sending them flying back. Frost spells. Offensive school of magic focus on slowing enemies as well as dealing cold damage. Envelop a target in a harsh winter cold, leaving them frozen for a time. Vigor. School of Vigor is a utility branch of magic that focuses on granting bonuses to yourself and your allies. Fill the target with a surge of greatness, granting them a bonus to might and Vitality. Yeah, so this one gives you control lightning. +8 to control lightning. Use the sigil of lightning. This one gives you +8 to control frost. This one gives you +8 to control vigor. And this is control apatry. Atrophy, yeah. Atrophy magic drains skills and the attributes of your enemies, weakening their attacks and making them easier to kill. Atrophy. Touch of atrophy. Gather entropic energy and channel into an enemy, sapping the target's might and vitality. So it's kind of like the opposite of this one. It's kind of interesting. I think I kind of like the Javelin to start off with. I haven't really played many Javelin characters in RPGs. This might be kind of interesting. Let's go with Heart Shot because why not? Sounds like that's a pretty nasty move. Pretty vicious move. We'll see how that plays. Typically, I'd probably like a Frost Mage or a kind of a dual warrior mage. I think is usually a pretty good class in RPGs, but I'll go with Javelin for now and see how that goes. Alright, next. Secondary expertise. Believing that all great agents should be well-rounded, Tunon ordered you receive training in a secondary combat style. Fatebringers are often deployed into treacherous circumstances, one's ability to adapt to unexpected changes like a sudden violence or a legal entanglement can represent the difference between life and death. So same list. So that's nice. We don't have to think about another list. Do double Javelin. Pretty weird. Probably not a good idea to double up the same thing. I'm thinking maybe Frost. Because you could like slow down. Slowing enemies down is always a pretty good idea. Because usually it means that your tanks and your fighters can always wail on them for longer. So we'll try Javelin and Frost and see how that goes. So we have Frozen Grasp. 10 to 15 Frost. 24-second cooldown. This is a 20-second cooldown. Frozen Affliction for 14 seconds. Alright. What's lore? Termination's ability to decipher information, put together clues and fragments of information. This is a skill crucial to magic users wishing to learn new runes. Lore is also used in dialogue to determine what you know about the history of the world and to impress others with your intelligence. Alright, the rest is kind of obvious. I'm not going to bother reading it. Okay, character colors. I sometimes like me a dark blue. I think the pants should be a dark. It looks pretty weird when they're like a bright. Bright yellow pants. Like, ugh. Just a black, I think is probably pretty good. I want to go kind of muted. Wish you could like actually choose your color, like a color picker. I mean, like a proper RGB slider system. Because I kind of want even a darker blue, but whatever. It's fine. Banner customization. Where's the banner show up? Oh, there. Got a whole bunch of symbols to choose. That one looks kind of nice, I guess. I always like me some blue on white. Blue background on white text. That's a good combo. It's very contrasty. Alright, let's enter my name, Karate Snoopy. No problem. Alright. We're on the attributes section. Might determines the physical strength of a character. Increase might to do more powerful attacks and strong abilities, as well as increasing endurance defense. So we have 18 points, or 8 points. And we can jack everything down to 8. So we have 20 points to deal with. So let's see, might is that one. And this attribute is recommended because you are training in Javelin. Finesse. Describes a character's physical and precise. Finesse is used to determine accuracy of attacks and spells, whereas increasing armor chance. Quickness determines how often the quick character uses abilities and spells in combat, reducing cooldown durations. Vitality determines a character's physical health and the strength of the personality. It also increases the will defense. Wits. Mental acuity. This is recommended because you train in frost spells. So if you keep that at 10, you get no bonus to spell strength. Every point you increase gives you plus 5% spell strength. And it looks like max is 18 with a 40% spell strength increase. And Resolve determines a character's ability to endure physical and mental challenges. And it wants Resolve because of magic defense. I don't know why you really need Resolve, though. Affliction. What's Affliction? It's just like negative things. Afflictions are explicitly bundled set of status effects that can be applied to and suspended and fully removed from a character. Yeah, it's like poison and whatever. Okay, yeah, standard stuff. Like, just because I train in frost spells doesn't really seem like I need Resolve. It's like a good defense thing, but it's like just like Vitality. It's like not like you need it. It's always good to have it. So I think that's the one negative of dual going both magic and weapons. You need like a bunch of stats to be high. Let's give you plus 24 strength, 24% attack and ability strength. So I wonder if instead of frost, I should just stick with maybe like dual wielding or something crazy, or just spear and shield. That's interesting. Before it was sword and shield. So now it's spear and shield. Oh, and this is war mace. Anything else changed? Nope. Huh. Spear and shield. Yeah, so you could do like Javelin. And then spear and shield. And then, let's see, shield slam or sunder. Power for overhead attack that reduces target's armor. Let's do that one. Alright, did all those. Physical and mental precision. So it wants that because of spear and shield. And it wants that because of javelin. And I don't need those two really. Vitality is just some health stuff, so hopefully I won't get hit, right? I probably won't get hit and murdered. So we just keep them all at 13 maybe. Yeah, so I'm basically weak to magic, but kind of a 10% bonus on the rest of the stuff. Eh, good enough, whatever. Alright, so here's my skills I've learned. And I guess this isn't the entire set of skills, just the ones I chose, I suppose. Because I don't see all the magic ones, for example. So I can't go any lower, and I have 20 points available. Got dual wield. Thrown weapons. One-handed weapons. Skills recommended because of your training in shield, spear and shield. Training in javelin. I wonder how thrown weapons work. Do I get my javelin back, or do I just throw it once and I'm done? Because if I throw it once and I'm done, it's going to be pretty bad. Athletics. These are support skills. Character's ability to reverse difficult terrain. Actually, complicated moves. This is strongly recommended. See, this one's strongly recommended. This one's just recommended. Because of your training in javelin and spear and shield. Because it has two things behind it. Bump those to, like, I say, 33. Ability to execute complicated moves in combat. Well, I guess it's not bad. Dodge, parry. Lore and subterfuge. Have we looked at those before? Whatever. How do you want to continue? Conquest or quick start? Selecting the conquest option will allow you to play through Kairos' Conquest of Tears. Choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. This gives you the most control of the starting state of the game and how the other factions react to your character. Of course you want to do Conquest. Otherwise, there's no point skipping the game.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. Two armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
Okay. So both armies are marching south from the northern. Looks like marching to Tears. Okay. The last corner free from Kairos' reign.
In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors. Until it's too late.
During the conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of Tears, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tears respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. All right, 428 TR. Bastard City. The Bastard City stood on the northern border between the Kairos' empire and the Tears. Built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between the realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tears, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target for Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' armies. Taking this city would send a message to the rest of the Tears. Kairos will be insurmountable. So am I? Like, I'm a pit fighter, but have I already been chosen to become a Fatebringer? Because when I'm a Fatebringer, I'm bringing justice to the, to the Archmages or whatever. It's just weird. Like, I'm not a soldier, really. Prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' armies. Because the Archon, like, I work for the Archon of Justice. Like, it's confusing, like, where I am in the stage of the game. Alright, let's read about Bastard City. Named for its position between two realms, the Northern Empire and the Southern Tears. The Bastard City, its surrounding lands, known as the Bastard Tier, is a melting pot of cultures, a place of commerce and intrigue. The Tearsmen of the South view the Bastard City as a place of wealth and excess, but to the people of the Northern Empire, the Bastard City is little more than a sprawling slum. Tunon the Educator established his court in the Bastard City, and from this foothold in the Tears, he and the court of Fatebringers imposed Kairos' law upon the conquered land. So maybe Tunon the Adjudicator, sorry. Tunon the Adjudicator. Maybe I work for him, and this is like him taking over the Bastard City. Okay. Select a token on the map to begin. Gates of Judgment. In the first major engagement of the war, Kairos' armies crossed the mountains and established a foothold. Both armies sent their forces to prepare their way. Infiltrate the Tears. The armies of Kairos took the battle to the Gates of Judgment, trumpeting the open call for the conquest of Tears. The two armies brought their distinctive sense of order and chaos to the assault. You went to the battle alongside the army whose approach best suited your strengths. Join the battle alongside the Disfavored or the Scarlet Chorus. So you could stand shield to shield with Kairos' ironclad elite. The Disfavored, you advance on the mercenary army purchased by the nobles of the Bastard City. The Legion wanted to send a message to Tears, and that superior breeding and disciplined training would win the day. You rushed with the chaotic mass of the Scarlet Chorus, flanked the Bastard City's army, and drove them to flee. Alternatively, I could have done this thing. Infiltrate. History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of the conquest, but the real battle unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus each had a plan to infiltrate the capital city. Which army did you join? You lent your skills to the elite Disfavored scouts to capture a border garrison. Graven Ash, the last of the northern generals to stand against the Overlord in ages past. Archon Graven Ash now serves Kairos as supreme commander of the disfavored Legion and is charged with conquering Tears. Graven Ash shares a powerful bond with the soldiers under his command and regards each of them as family. The death of a soldier at the enemy hands represents a grievous loss to the old general, who bears the burden of his love with mournful stoicism. Well, that's nice. Insists that an early victory in the offense would boost the morale of his troops and diminish the haughty overconfidence of the Southerners. You join the Scarlet Chorus as they raid a village and small towns, conscripting every able-bodied man and woman into the army. The voices of Nerat emphasize the rewards of conscription and enslavement over wanton bloodshed. Apparently, his soldiers needed the reminder. Yeah, so maybe like I'm there to help enforce the law. It's kind of weird. Like I don't understand like exactly what my role is yet in terms of like working for the Archon of Justice as a fate bringer. Anyway, I'm going to make a choice between these four. I think this one kind of makes sense to infiltrate and like go with the elite soldiers, because this one seems more chaos. The Scarlet Corps seems like more like Mongols and just a chaotic horde. And then this is more like a infantry troop marching straight ahead, and this is more like swarm. All right, let's just do this one. The oath-bound scouts identified a modest border defense and collaborated on an organized attack that would leave the enemy uncoordinated and cut off from aid. You oversaw the preparations and offered your opinion on the strategy. When the clashing of the swords and spears fell silent, followed by the cheering of disfavored scouts, you were the least surprised. The disfavored is one of those armies between there's disfavored and Scarlet Choir. I keep saying choir. Disciplined and battle-hardened, the disfavored are an elite legion of Kairos' army. They spearhead the conquest of the younger realms, finding themselves always outnumbered but never outclassed, led by the steadfast and dutiful Graven Ash, whom they follow with obsessive devotion. They are committed to imposing their interpretation of order upon the relative lawlessness of the Tears. The Legion only tolerates Northerners in their ranks, priding themselves on high standards and cultural purity. Alright. So now we have like 2 more choices, huh? Containing the fire. Your fiercest opponents in the Bastard City were mages, or the school of the Wild Wrath. Too barbaric to use their power responsibly, the unbridled practitioners needed to be stopped. How did you trick the hot-tempered mages into their undoing? You lured the hot-headed mages into an ambush where a legion of disfavored waited to spring the trap. The soldiers were hungry for the chance to subdue the arcane branch of Tears resistance. You tricked the guild elders into meeting with the voices Nerat, Archon of Secrets. The Archon was notorious for his cruel and mysterious interrogation technique the mages never seen again. That's pretty vicious. Inside Agent. The border garrison captured by your disfavored allies. You traveled ahead of Kairos' army and lurked in the shadows of the Bastard City. You decided that converting one of the locals to Kairos' side would help bring the cities to its knees. After all, corruption starts within. You enlisted a bitter captain of the guard to sell military secrets to the disfavored. Better Kairos' army matched their next inevitable victory well informed. Or you came to an arrangement with a well-connected smuggler who knew how to sneak agents of the Scarlet Chorus, behind the city's walls. The Scarlet Chorus were better operatives than soldiers, and this work required a subtle touch. Oh, I kind of like this one, where we just give them to the voices of the Nerat, agent of Archon of Secrets, and he absorbs their minds. There were few who could describe what the horrors of the Archon of Secrets visited upon his enemies during the conquest. Whether the elder mages knew little of the Archon's reputation or met him without a curiosity didn't matter. Once the flap of the Archon's tent was closed, none of them were heard from again, save the strangled cry of alarm that ended just as swiftly. Leaderless, the school of the Wild Wrath fell in disorder, and the remaining members were slain by the disfavored or conscripted into the Scarlet Chorus. I keep saying choir. Your tactics of infiltration placed you in the Bastard City ahead of the main armies. Your work softened the city's defenses and the rival Kairos' forces, but you wanted a decisive gesture that would give the allies a meaningful advantage. How did you assist in the fall of the Bastard City? You challenged the commander of the Bastard City's defenses to an honorable fight to the death. The disfavored wished to spare the soldiers' lives for the battles ahead and the civilian lives for occupation. Warrior respite. Cooldown 1 per encounter. Stand your ground in the face of defeat. It will generate health rapidly. Plus 20% health every 3 seconds. Huh. Spreading the word of Kairos, you converted the poor and disaffected into a hidden army of the Scarlet Choir. Scarlet Chorus. I gotta stop saying choir. Once the dust settled, the army wished to bolster their troops with these sleeper cells. Searing Palm. Gather heated energy into your hands and release into a foe. The target ignites into flames, burning over time. That'd be cool for a mage, I guess. Keeping into the shadows, you eliminate the leaders of the Bastard City one by one. Concealing shadows once per encounter. Create a cloud of obscuring shadows and dust for a short duration. Enemies use physical attacks against you have a slight, significantly increased chance to miss. During this time, your attacks become less effective. Probably good for a thief. I think this one's probably best for us. It will allow us to kind of heal up once per battle. The city marshal was an old but experienced fighter, and his value to the guard was an accepted truth. After making guarantees for your protection, you meet him in the square of the market district and fought in the view of tense onlookers. The battle drew longer than you thought possible. Good luck struck when an ornamental chain hanging from the marshal's armor snagged the quillion of his sword, granting you the opportunity to end his life swiftly. Kairos' forces celebrated your return to the camp and the dissolution of the enemy morale. All agreed that Bastard City was poised to crumble. Nice. It's all Game of Thronesy. Alright, that's a good stopping point for the episode. See you next time on Tyranny.